Hi everybody, welcome to Play by Play. My name is Sean Bouchard, and I'm going to be playing the last three chapters of The Novelist tonight. I just got back from a 2-week trip, so this is my first time streaming in the last few weeks. I'm super happy to be back. I'm looking forward to this. I've been really interested in seeing how this game is going to pull together an ending. I think, I'm very curious about it. So we're gonna find out tonight. I'm gonna dive in, and we'll do Q&A afterwards. I think there's gonna be stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna start with the story so far. Partially because it's been 3 weeks since I played this, and so I want to remember exactly what has been going on. That said, I'm going to skip over sort of some of the early stuff here. So last time we played through chapters 4, 5, and 6. And let's recap that. When Dan received a surprise inheritance, he spent it on an ad for his book in the Literary Register, but he also taught writing at the art co-op so Linda could paint there once a week. Okay. When Linda and Tommy had a surprise visitors in the same weekend that Dan's friend was visiting, Dan changed his plans so Tommy could have a sleepover, but still had his friend over for whatever writing time they could fit in, which wasn't much. Okay. And when Dan's drinking began helping his work but harming his family life, he cut back on his drinking and put together Tommy's pedal car, but he also agreed to go jogging 2 days a week. I remember that being sort of the most cut and dry for me personally, subjectively making decisions. So it sounds like we've been pretty balanced, right, in the last 3 chapters. In fact, did we chose Tommy in the last one. We chose Tommy in the previous one, and we chose Dan in the one before that. But we have also chosen Linda as a compromise a couple of times. So overall, I feel like we've been playing a very balanced game, and everybody seems sort of more or less pretty happy. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Oh shit, this game has controls. What are the controls for this game? No, I literally am pressing buttons and nothing is happening. What was it? Space was one of them, I know, but that's not doing anything here. Maybe I just need to escape. Is that right? Is that just like escape? Okay. Let's continue. Let's see how this goes. Vacation. It was summer, and summer was the time for vacations. Oh god, thank god this game tells me how to play it. I do kind of love that. Alright, here we go. So, remembering how the hell this works, I can zip around to different lights. Different lights are, I think, turned on than last time. Although, so far it seems like all the lights are turned on. That one's not. Okay. And that one's not. Oh, shit, none of them over there are. Daddy says the candy store is our secret. Okay.
What's wrong with it?
There we go. Alright, so I'm reading Tommy's thoughts.
honey.
Playing with rocket ships. Good, good. Right. So this is the system that I sort of understood the last time that we played, where Tommy's mood, Tommy's happiness, as it is influenced by each chapter, is sort of on a continuum, and then that continuum is illustrated by his drawing. I can't actually look at this here, can I? I mean, I guess I can literally look at it. It's Tommy and his friend. Am I sinking? Oh no, I'm hovering. Got it. Very slowly. Tommy is friend in the fort.
I didn't do that.
Why did it do that? Oh shit. Oh shit.
Get back to them.
Totally break my rhythm.
Haven't had a drink on a weeknight in 2 weeks. Came up with a new slogan. Write sober, rewrite sober, rewrite sober. Hemingway it's not, but it's good to smooth things over with Linda and Tommy a bit. Gotta admit, I don't miss hangovers, but still, I do sometimes miss sitting down with a drink and a crazy idea.
So, again, and I'm recapping, I think, a lot of the stuff that we discovered in the last couple episodes, but the way that these memories are structured essentially is giving feedback on the resolution to the previous chapter, right? Basically checking in on Tommy's state of mind, checking in on the parents' sort of reactions to what happened.
Could always be better.
What do you say?
Could always be better.
Could always be better?
How was work?
How is work could always be better. Yeah, okay. Alright, I gotta find Linda. Okay. So, again, they switched around the lights that are turned on that I can actually use. And it was feeling like this was very accessible compared to previous levels. Whoops. Previous levels being, I guess, like just the last chapter. But that light in there is my only access to her studio. And if that light is not on, then it just makes it very difficult for me to go into that room. But I'm gonna chance it. Oh shit, I'm gonna get stuck in here. If somebody tries to come in, I guess I can go up to that light. So I can still hide in here. That's good.
I finally got through to Dan, at least a little. He said I was nagging him, so I showed him the pamphlets Dr. Walker gave me. He couldn't explain away science, though he did try. I could tell he didn't like it, but he signed up to run 2 days a week. I wish it was more, but I'll take what I can get.
I forget exactly what this was about. This was, she thought he should go jogging to feel better. It's jogging instead of drinking, I think. But I don't know. I don't remember what the pamphlets. I don't remember any of that. Whatever. It only kind of matters because I sort of know the emotional state that everybody's going to be in because I'm very explicitly choosing sort of, you know, what concessions to make at the resolution of every chapter. So, I mean, I like that I can check in with these characters, I guess. It gives it a sense of continuity from chapter to chapter, but only kind of. And it kind of feels like it doesn't matter. Like I already got this resolution.
I'm going out for a hike.
She's going out for a hike. Usually they talk, like usually there's two people engaged in conversation. Ah, yes, there we go.
Okay, be safe.
And I feel like these little dialogue moments have a lot of potential that they don't really ever capitalize on. Like, I don't know, that they're so short and they don't really say much, at least out of context. And my very, very strong tendency is to deal with the characters and their memory, this like whole memory system, before I go exploring the world. Because the first thing that I want to do before I can explore the world, I want to know where all of the characters are. And if I'm figuring out where the characters are, I might as well look at their memories. So I have no context for like what this chapter is about, especially this one, because the title is really vague. And so this little like micro dialogue doesn't mean anything to me. And that has been the case, I think, more often than not, which is really unfortunate.
All right.
Oh, Jesus, this is terrifying. Okay, there we go. I'm out of there. I am probably not going to do that again. Alright, let me see if I can figure out what this is all about. Usually there are, like, notes left around. Blast off at Booster Bay. Come enjoy all the excitement of Booster Bay this weekend. We have a very special discount for all the young astronauts out there. Children under the age of 12 who bring their official Booster Bay Astrojet get free admission to the park. Wow, really? That's a good deal. Take a flight to remember on our world-famous rocket coaster. Explore the inner workings of 3 model spacecraft in our educational City in the Sky. Treat yourself to burgers, ice cream, cosmic cotton candy, and more in the food court of the future. There's never been a better time to visit Booster Bay, and you can't beat the price. Okay, cool. So clearly this is what Tommy wants to do, and that's why he's playing with rockets. So now his little like micro dialogue thing makes more sense in that context. But I almost never get that context until after... Oh, I can't use that light. Until after I've already done this. Jim said you'd never make it. He said you're a joke. Oh, Jesus. Is he giving himself like hate notes for motivation? This is an opportunity, not a burden. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. 1 page at a time. You could be working a regular job right now. Huh. Yeah. Tommy's drawing of everybody at Booster Camp. The readers of Eugene and the surrounding area, judging by the turnout, got a rare treat when author Dan Kaplan arrived for a combination reading and book signing. He shared a selection. Was this from like the first chapter? Yeah. I think that's old. Okay. There's often a journal over here.
I've got to stay on the book. This is my chance to do something people remember, something that matters. If this one isn't good enough, there might not even be a next one. Certainly not one without all sorts of publisher strings attached. This is why we saved up enough to take the summer off. I'm out of excuses. Of course, a long weekend would be fun, but that's also the problem. How do you stay hungry when you've gotten used to weekend getaways? How do you recapture that feeling of being a broke college kid chasing a dream? How do you get back out on that limb again, scared it's gonna break, but inching out anyway? Listen to me. Wound up so tight. Maybe taking one night off might help after all.
This is a really interesting... Okay, so... Dan makes a lot of really interesting statements on the nature of creative production. Implicitly in that he feels like he needs to get drunk in order to be creative, like truly creative. This idea that in order to make something meaningful, you have to be hungry. I don't know that I totally agree with this, but it's interesting. I'm wondering, is this a statement that the game is making more generally, or is this reflecting just a character's point of view? So Linda, I don't think Linda feels this way about her art. She feels much more like I get a sense that she's interested in being connected. Like she wants to work at an art co-op. She wants to like show her work in a gallery. Not as a motivational tool, not as a like, okay, so if I give a book reading, then I have to finish, but more as like she's doing shit, she's creating things, and she wants to share it. I mean, I don't know. The game doesn't give me the option to investigate like the monetary value of Linda's art, but I can't help but feeling she is so much more of a stable, productive artist than Dan is. Why is he the breadwinner? Why is he the one that we're sort of like focusing on as the creative linchpin of this family? Okay. So clearly the crux of this chapter is there's a potential long weekend. Is this, where are we? July, August? Seems like it's too late for the 4th of July.
Anne, what's the latest with you? I hope you're doing better than I am. I'm going a little stir crazy. Dan loves it here, but he's just writing all day long, so he could be anywhere. I could use a change of scenery. I've walked every trail in the woods and even started a few of my own. It's great getting away from the city, but I wouldn't exactly call this roughing it. Tommy's certainly having a good time exploring the woods. Sometimes we go together, and if I'm in the studio, he knows he can play outside where I can see him, and to stay away from the cliff. Do you remember when we were kids trying to jump the creek in the woods behind the house? I think Tommy's getting into that phase now, climbing trees and all that. Oops, I got a little carried away there. You probably don't need to hear about all of our outdoor adventures. Sorry about that. Well, let me know how you're doing. Love, Linda.
Interesting. I forget who Anne is exactly. Some of this definitely feels ancillary, especially that last paragraph, but again, it's interesting how much more of a connection Linda has with Tommy, just in general, and how much more of a connection we get to have with Tommy through Linda than through Dan. And this has come up a couple times, the suggestion potentially that because I don't choose Tommy's, endings to Tommy's resolutions to problems, Dan ends up not spending time with him, and therefore like we don't get to see their relationship develop, which is potentially true, but it still feels weird to me. It feels really weird to me. All right. Okay, so I feel like I have gotten, like I got these 3 letters. Yes. Somehow I haven't gotten Dan's thing yet. And Linda... think that I've gotten, but where is she?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad. Did Linda go back to her studio? The studio that I do not want to go into? There she is. Huh, okay. So, I found whatever I needed to find for Tommy, but not yet for Dan and Linda. I'm not sure where to look next. Where have I not looked?
Penny, thanks so much for your letter. It made my day. Tramer's Way came out a while ago now, so I don't get letters like this too often. Writing can be a pretty isolating profession at times, which makes it a big boost to hear that someone out there is getting something from my work. Your support means the world to me. To answer your question, I'm indeed in the midst of writing a new book. I don't have a title or a release date yet, but I'm plugging away on it slowly but surely. I plan to finish it by the end of summer, and I truly hope you enjoy it when it comes out. Thanks again for your kind words. Dan Kaplan.
That's nice. Okay. I'm not sure. Does that represent a choice for him though for this long weekend, or is that just grab some firewood, build a bonfire, and camp on the beach? What? I guess to feel hungry. To feel like a college kid who doesn't have a house. Camp on the beach, really? Is that how you're gonna get writing done? I guess whatever works. You know your process. Or you... I don't know. I don't know if you do know your process. I'm also not sure where the firewood is.
Yeah. Hey, wanna grab a bite?
Okay, and I just heard Linda. She was down here somewhere. Not exactly roughing it. I think she wants to go camping. Oh, have I not read that whatever that letter is?
Oh my god, the light again.
Well, how about that one?
Yeah, I gotta check on that thing.
Damn it. How about now?
Again?
Yes,
I just
again.
fixed it.
Home to a stunning display of natural beauty, Ochoko National Forest is a perfect destination for hunters, wilderness enthusiasts, and weekend campers alike. One-of-a-kind rock formations provide exciting challenges for climbers. The many canyons offer scenic hiking experiences, and the swimming opportunities are many. Located less than 5 hours from Portland and less than 6 from the Central Coast, Ochako is perfect for a summer getaway. For more information or to request a brochure, please call ranger station at blah blah blah. Okay, so she wants to go camping. She even already bought a camping
This
pack.
house is old.
This house is old. He wants to go out on the beach. I still don't get that. And Danny wants to go to camp. I am tempted to give this one to, or Tommy wants to go to camp, sorry. I'm tempted to give this one to Dan. I keep saying Danny because Danny is the kid from The Shining, and I confuse him with Tommy because he's the kid from The Shining. I feel like the reason that they're out here, like the primary reason they're out here, the reason that they saved up so that they could take a summer to come out here, was so that he would finish his goddamn book. He's got to do that. And I understand the, like, you know, he's working this summer. He can't just take a vacation. And then I think I'm going to try to compromise with Tommy. So,
Hey, Mommy.
damn it, that means I
Hey,
need to
Pumpkin.
find the firewood. Where the hell is the firewood? What does that even mean? Find some firewood.
Looking good, man.
Thanks, Dad.
Ah, there it is. Okay, so firewood and then I want to compromise with the rocket, which is going to it's going to be, I think, in Tommy's room. But I'm totally wrong.
It's not done yet.
I don't know why it would be in here, and it's not. Is that... I can get to this lamp, but I can't get back from it? Oh, I have no exit from this room. Interesting that I can get into the room, but I can't get out. That is, I sort of wouldn't expect that kind of asymmetrical design is possible, given the way that they've set this up. But clearly it is. That makes this like network simulation, frankly, much more interesting. I guess I don't have to find the rocket until tonight. Can I distract
Hey,
both
Mommy.
of them?
Hey, honey. How
Ooh,
could
it's
it possibly
broke.
do that?
I totally did just distract both of them. Selecting firewood, choose Dan's resolution. But I discovered Linda and Tommy's desired outcome and haven't spooked them. Choosing it. Okay, so there's two things that I need to do. One is find all of these journals. The Diary of Kay Williams, May 15th, 1952. It was brought up at the end of the last episode that I, for some reason, read Kay as female and J as male. And I don't think there's any good reason or rationale for that, but I'm going to continue to do it if it comes up. It is late, but I must record my thoughts. Perhaps it will help me make some sense of them. I should not say thoughts, as there is only one thought in my mind. I look back but a week and see that when I arrived, my only thought was of Jay being gone. That sad thought has been replaced by another. What if I were gone as well? Ugh. I feel regret in the simple writing of those words. If I am truthful, it is not a thought that has occurred to me before. I cannot be sure where it came from. It is almost as if it was put in place by something I do not understand. I must think of my family and their heartache. Our children have lost one parent. I could not bear to hurt them again, though they are all grown up and have no practical need of me. Yet I had no strictly practical need of Jay, and look where that loss has left me. Perhaps I will venture into town tomorrow. Maybe some stranger, unknowing, will show me some kindness, some small thing that plants a seed of hope. So, interesting. This is, like, I feel like this is getting more and more explicit that whatever presence I am in this house, is responsible for decisions that these past sort of characters have made. Although this is also suggesting that I planted the thought of suicide in Kay's mind, and then she didn't actually do it, or she hasn't done it yet. Like, it didn't cause her to resolve to do it. She's looking for a way out. That's interesting. That's not been my experience with the Kaplans. Pretty much whatever I tell them to do, they just do. Maybe they are weak-willed in a way that Kay was not. Okay, so before I talk to Dan, I want to do the rocket, I think. Diary of Kay Williams, May 16th, 1952. I feel shame looking back on last night's entry, yet it does clarify the choices before me. I can walk to the cliff, close my eyes, lean forward, and be done. It would not be hard. Let me just point out that it hasn't, I think, always been the case that the two diaries that typically appear in these nighttime scenes have to be read in a specific order, but these two do. These two have a very clear, like, first there's this one and then there's that one, and they're placed such that I am unlikely to miss the first one. It is right there when I start the segment, and then this one is at my destination, right? My ultimate destination is going to be Dan's bedroom, and that's where I find this. So I'm very, very likely to discover them in the order that they're meant to be read. Okay, suicide would not be hard. Or I can find a path forward without Jay. I hold no hope that I will find another love in the autumn and winter of my life, but perhaps there is a peace to be found. I went into town this morning and stopped at the cafe. I sat at a sidewalk table and sipped coffee, watching people pass now and then as they lived their lives. I will never think of my time in this house fondly. The circumstances made such a remembrance an impossibility. But now I know that my time here has allowed me to part the fog that clouded my mind when I arrived. I now know that there are two paths before me. All that is left is to choose. So interesting, like this focus on choices, which is obviously a common theme throughout the game, and even like binary choices. The narrative implications on who I am and what my role is and what my purpose is are a little confusing, because it certainly seems like it implies that I suggested suicide to Kay, and that that somehow caused her to be able to move past this loss, which is a much less direct effect than I typically have, than I have had in the gameplay with the Kaplans. So that's sort of weird. Alright, where the hell is Tommy's rocket? There it is. So what am I saying? I'm saying Dan should write his goddamn book, and then they should take Tommy to camp. Yeah, sorry, Linda. Linda can deal. Selecting the rocket will choose Tommy's compromise. Yes, let's do it. We're going to talk to Dan. Dan put his book first and explained that he simply didn't have time for a longer trip. He tried to make it up to them with a one-night beach camping trip where he happened to get a new idea for his book. The night off relaxed him, and by noon the next day he was back at his typewriter working with renewed purpose. Tommy was so proud of finding the free admission special for Booster Bay that he couldn't understand why his parents hadn't taken him for free. Dan tried to explain the reasons, but it did little good. Tommy perked up when his father told him they would go before the summer was out, no matter what the cost. I see, so they didn't go this weekend, but they'll go some other weekend, I guess. Linda was disappointed that they didn't go camping in Ochoko, so she went on a day hike by herself just to get out of the house and try to get some use from her new pack. She was only an hour into her hike when she twisted her ankle on a tree root and had to limp back home in pain, alone and angry. That was a great idea, Linda, and it is not anybody's fault that you twisted your ankle. I find that narratively frustrating because Can I make that stop? That's gonna stop. Because I mean, yes. So like, it would have been great if she wanted to go to Ochoko. I get that. Like, that would have been the thing that would have made her happy. Going on a day hike by herself seems like a fantastic compromise, though, right? Like, because she wants to get out of the house. And Dan needs to write his goddamn book, and so, like, that's good. Go out of the house. The fact that she twists her ankle is a very, like, Deus Ex Machina way to turn that into a bad resolution for her, which is a level of, like, a narrative deception that I haven't seen at least as much of. Hi, yeah, you can't jump very high, can you? We haven't, I mean, like, the writing hasn't been great at times in this, but it hasn't been as frustrating as that. Interesting. Okay, I think there are 2 more chapters left. Really, really excited to see what they are, and if the game can end on a high note, which is what I would really like it to do. I will be back in a few minutes, and we'll continue with catching up the next chapter of The Novelist.